Hi folks, today as a special treat I thought we'd do something that I rarely ever do and talk about Sonic for a change. This video was initially going to be on Sonic Forces, but TCS already did a video on that and well, he basically said everything I was going to say. Thanks Trey. So in order to thank TCS Gaming, I decided that I would do a video on his favourite Sonic game of all time, that being Sonic Lost World, because to quote TCS Gaming, and this is an actual quote, you can ask him, Sonic Lost World is the shit. I'm so sorry, Trey. No, I'm fucking not. It might be hard to believe, but there was a time, not too far gone, where the future of the Sonic the Hedgehog series was actually pretty promising. Colours and Generations were, and still are, rock solid entries into the franchise, and whatever your opinion on Sonic 4, it went down with consumers pretty well at the time. When Sonic Lost World was revealed to the public in spring 2015, my 15-year-old Sonic-obsessed self had a reason to believe that this game was going to continue that string of greatness. Hell, I even saved up to get a Wii U just to play it. And well, but that was 5 years ago and I don't really remember hating it. I don't even remember much of anything about it, as a matter of fact. It came at the peak of my Sonic high and then it just kind of left. So I'm going in here cautiously optimistic. The game begins with Sonic and Tails being shot down by Eggman in an attempt to rescue those oh so adorable woodland creatures. They find themselves crash landed on the Lost Hex, a place that is made out of hexagons. No, that's really all I got. If you were expecting a bit more context as to what exactly this world is or why it's structured this way, then the prequel comic goes about filling in a couple of things, namely, fuck and all. Eggman has managed to take control of 6 deadly creatures called the Deadly Six, in an attempt to stop Sonic so he can use the world's Mako energy to create an unstoppable army of robots. Eggman then ends up losing control after Sonic decides to kick first and ask questions never. With that, the Deadly Six take control of Eggman's army and try to destroy Sonic's world in an act of revenge. The premise is fine, the tone on the other hand, Jesus Christ. Fans complain that they wanted these stories to have higher stakes, more tension. The problem with that is that you've already got a good chunk of people who enjoyed the tongue-in-cheek approach of the last few games. What you get is a sloppy attempt in the middle that ends up pleasing no one and disappoints everyone. Mood Whiplash does not even begin to describe how I feel about this plot. It's like going from Devil May Cry to Kingdom Hearts. Like, Tails' little angst episode here is pretty much Riku's entire arc from Kingdom Hearts 1, only more dumb if you can believe that. Later on, Eggman tags along with Sonic, which Tails raises absolutely no objection to, and then gets pissy a few cutscenes afterwards. And all you needed to do was put this cutscene before this one, and then it would have made much more sense. Apart from that, you can't expect me to go from Sonic joking about kicking someone up the ass to all of my friends are dead, with little to no build up or payoff for that matter. Sonic acts like a dumbass, Tails acts like a jealous bitch, and the Deadly Six, well, they aren't even characters. They're stereotypes, nothing more, and while they're good for a laugh, that's all they're really good for. They don't have any lasting effect outside of this game. Well, unless you count Forces, which I certainly don't. And their designs are as generic as they come. Okay, so the story sucks. Big deal, right? It's the gameplay that people play Sonic games for, and, well, never have I had my opinion on a game quite so torn like Sonic Lost World. Let's start with the positives here. The presentation is absolutely top notch. Unlike prior games which tended to add a tinge of realism into their world design, Sonic Lost World decides to go all out cartoon, and the result is a game as vivid as it is divisive. Sometimes the game can look a bit too simple for my taste though. This level is just platforms with a sky background. Really nice use of the camera in this section though. I get vertigo just looking at this. I would say that the soundtrack is amazing, but that should be completely obvious to anyone who's ever plucked up the courage to play one of these games. Not as butt-rocky as usual, but Sonic Lost World does tend to lean a lot more on the funky side. A lot of toe tappers here, which makes it stand out. Sonic Lost World is the first and last game to use the parkour system. At first glance it looks very similar to the adventure games. The boost is no more, and you have wide open spaces to explore. Hell, even the spin dash is back. Sonic can climb up almost any steep surface if you get a good run up. On top of that, Sonic can also run across and jump from adjacent walls, theoretically broadening the possibilities for exploration. For as nimble as Sonic can be though, the level design is fairly shallow, or in some cases downright infuriating. Sonic has decided to take a page out the Mario Galaxy playbook in an attempt to seem more non-linear than it actually is. The difference between Sonic 3 and alternate routes in Sonic Lost World is that other paths weren't just cool because they were there, they were a sign that you the player were becoming better at the game and being rewarded for doing so. What Sonic Lost World fails to understand is that it's the feeling of self-discovery that makes it all worthwhile, not the route itself. You can't discover something that's already out in the open. A lot of the Galaxy-esque levels feel very samey, especially when you're going through the same cylindrical level design. Even when the stage does start to open up a bit, there's nothing really to explore, just a lot of flat terrain and the occasional ramp to remind you that yes, this is a Sonic game. Sometimes the parkour can be used to find some hidden goodies, but that's assuming you know how to use the thing in the first place, which you won't. I guarantee you won't. Point of contention number 1. Sonic turns way too sharply, leading to me awkwardly bumping into shit when I don't intend to. It's almost as bad as Sonic 06 in this regard. Furthermore, Sonic doesn't feel like he has any sense of weight. Sonic has 2 speeds, walking and running, which you can switch between on a dime. Covertly, the adventure games didn't have Sonic going from 0 to 60 by just tilting the analog stick. He would start with a slow walk, then a jog, and then finally reach top speed. This grace period is important as it gradually allows the player to become accustomed to Sonic's top speed without losing total control right out the gate. Many people have already noted Sonic Lost World's largely inconsistent jumping physics. Sometimes you can make a jump and other times you might as well not have jumped at all. I've seen many people claim that all you need to do is take a good run up and then jump, and I agree. The problem with that is the run button. Since moving at top speed is instantaneous, there's no visual indication as to how much momentum I'm carrying at a given time. Most of the platforming challenges like this one I almost always have to clear in one shot, otherwise my mojo is fucked. Problem numero dos, the wall run is way too sensitive. If you so much as touch the wall, Sonic will start running up it, which more often than not will lead you into danger, especially if you're playing the 2D sections, which might as well be all the time. This game just likes to overcomplicate things in general now that I think about it, for seemingly no real reason. The homing attack can now dispatch multiple targets, sweet. Another weird quirk of the homing attack is that it can be charged, but only on certain enemies. Which ones exactly? I don't fucking know. The charge itself is activated by keeping your cursor over an enemy, again, something the game doesn't tell you. If you don't feel like doing that, you could always use the kick instead. What annoys me about this is that most of the time there's either nothing verbally or physically told to me as to what moves I should use on a given enemy. Like these snail guys here for example, I guess the shell on its back could beef up its defense. Okay, you know, I accept that. The shield guys from Casino Night, perfect, not a problem there, it already has a shield, so it makes sense I would need to use the kick. Then we have weird cases like the egg pawns, you know, the standard move from Sonic Heroes. Okay, I guess you could make the argument that it had a health bar in previous games, so alright, yeah, even if it is largely inconsistent with the rest of the series. The mantis enemies from Sonic CD though, you know, those ones you could kill with a push of a button. What exactly clues me in to kick those? I question why the charged homing attack and the kick even needed to be in the first place. The multi-targeting is neat on paper, but just like the rest of these mechanics, it just feels like an added annoyance. All it does is take away the simplicity of Sonic and confuses new players. You know what's funny? Almost every other modern Sonic game has some kind of forced tutorial element. In this game, fucking nothing. You are thrown in with bare bones knowledge of how things work, and it's all trial and error from there. To this day, I cannot tell you how parkour in these sections is supposed to work. I just hug the wall and hope and pray Sonic turns the corner, Which is fine because the game has done away with this archaic tradition of an antiquated life system. Oh wait, no it hasn't. I should take this time to point out to everyone watching at home that the version of Sonic Lost World I'm playing is slightly different from its initial release. The initial build of Sonic Lost World didn't give you an extra life upon getting 100 rings, and you only started off with 4 lives. Oh, that explains why people hate this game. Play the game nowadays and you start off with 9. Better, but if I'm being brutally honest, they should have been axed years ago. This is not the kind of series that benefits from having a live system. You know what though, I don't even think that Sonic Team really had that much faith in this gameplay style to begin with. The Wisps from Sonic Colors return. You have Laser, Rocket, Hover, as well as Asteroid, Rhythm and Eagle introduced in this game. In Colors, they were used to find secrets or were just fun to use outright. In Sonic Lost World, they're mostly used to skip difficult platforming sections, aka all of the stuff that involves the parkour. From my time playing, I've noticed that the parkour system is only ever used to get bonuses like red rings, which you definitely shouldn't go for, by the way. Don't do it, you'll hate yourself. Generations and Unleashed are very much built around the boost. I'm not including Colors in that one because that was designed a bit differently, so just roll with me here. Beginning areas would only ever require you to boost, homing attack and occasionally dodge left and right. Every stage will build upon that basic foundation by adding new techniques. These opening levels are there to assure that the general idea of the gameplay is fun enough so that mastering these more complex techniques is something that the player wants to do and not something that they feel like they have to do. I can experiment with the parkour system, but the presence of the Wisps encourages me not to do so. That comes back to bite me in the ass in the later parts of the game like Lava Mountain Act 3. So let's say you're a masochist like me and you go out your way to find the red rings. What do you get? Circus tents. What do they do exactly? Raise your flicky counter. What does that do? Unlock new levels. Oh yeah, we're doing this again. I can already hear people hammering away at their keyboards that the flickies are really easy to get. And yeah, they are. Here's my rebuttal though. If these flickies are so easy to get from these tents, why are they there in the first place? Why are you wasting my time to begin with? Saying the game is too short is not an excuse because, extra length with no substance can outright hurt the pace of the game. Second, the PC version ain't got no gamepad, so you gotta do it the old fashioned way. To cut the game some slack for a second though, because I know it sounds like I hate it, which I don't really like it either, but the parkour system in and of itself has some excellent speedrunning potential. Efficient use of wall running can shave off a lot of time at the end of the stage. While you're not ranked in the story mode, there is a time attack that will do just that. I've seen people do so many impressive stunts with this game, it's almost mesmerising. When you know the level, weaving between obstacles with the spin dash is similar to the level of mastery you get with the boost. As for the worlds themselves though, tell me if you've heard this one before. You start out in a grassy area, the desert area, the beach area, the ice area, I'm sorry, I must have the wrong footage, dreadfully sorry there. It's just, I honestly couldn't tell the difference. This is, in my opinion, the biggest sin that Sonic Lost World commits. It's just so vanilla. Like, ripping off Mario Galaxy is one thing, but did you have to borrow all of his level tropes too? For God's sake, the final boss is literally just Bowser, except he's not called Bowser, but he is Bowser. I like the Mario series as much as the next guy, but I have and always will like Sonic more. Sonic is the series I go to when I want a bit of spice in my platformer. We don't need to rely on the old tropes. We've got factories, giant space stations, sprawling futuristic cityscapes. Fuck it, let's just go on an all-expense holiday around the world. Not every level is original, granted, but even in some of my most despised games, I can remember something about them. I mean, besides the parts that make me want to question my entire existence. I may detest secret rings, but I'd have a hard time forgetting stages like Levitated Ruin or Pirate Storm. Sonic Forces also has null space, so that should need a little explanation. There were times where occasionally Sonic Lost World would show me some of that Sonic charm. Rolling around in a snowball knocking over billiard balls in the sky, okay, maybe that wasn't executed the best, but it was still a fun concept. It made me smile at least. I don't dislike Sonic Lost World because I'm bad at it. On the contrary, I can actually play the game just fine. It's just not all that interesting to me. With almost every single Sonic game, including the ones I hate, there is something that will compel me to come back to it. I even pop in Shadow from time to time for laughs, because I just find the game to be interesting. Sonic Lost World though, I got nothing. I really wanted to like this game, and in the end, I didn't hate it. Can't say I really liked it either. I'm sorry, Trey. I failed you. Let me know what you think of this game down in the comments below, or whether you've actually played it at all. Let's be fair, the only console it was on was Wii U, so you probably haven't. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, people.